Oh my goodness. Transformers, roll out. I'm Optimus Prime, your leader. Oh my goodness. This movie here. Transformers, The Last Night. The Last Night. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. All I can tell you is this. Um, I don't even know what to say. Um, this movie is so, how can I put this? It is smashed together, and the story is so colluded with all of this extra stuff it really didn't need. It it didn't know what movie it wanted to be. It started off as this dark ages with the swords and knights, and you got Transformers there. And I'm like, all of these guys are around during the Hitler era, and nobody remembers seeing these doggone Transformers before. I mean, like, they were around all this time. It would make Transformers 1 look like, well, we've seen this before. Well, it would have been talked about, documented. Somebody would have drawn one of these things before. So Transformers was around every single world war there was. And Bumblebee was in the midst of this war. Then we have a situation where Optimus Prime is gone. Okay. And now that Prime is gone and he's floating in space, trying to go find the maker from that ridiculous Age of Extinction movie. Now you got a situation where Earth is just, Megatron, Galvatron, whatever, is in hiding, and the Decepticons and Autobots are fighting each other, and more just flying in and landing at will from different places around the globe. And they're just crashing and landing, and the government has got people that fight the Transformers called the TRF or something, and they're a special task force. Now they just, all of them, the Autobots or Decepticons, they just kicked out, completely gone, unless they want to go to Cuba. That's the only way they can go there. Like Castro or whatever, let them go over there and roam. So you got Transformers that's not even involved in the fight at all. They just like, look, I'm chilling. You do what you want to do. So anyway, they even went back to King Arthur with the staff and Merlin. And it's supposed to be this electronic staff that controls the dragon that ended up being not that significant in the movie as I thought he was going to be. Just another toy that they could sell. Dragon Storm. He does basically nothing in this movie. I hope that's not ruining anything for anybody who had any high hopes for him. Nothing at all. And a lot of this stuff could have been on the cutting room floor. Here it is. They had the guy, what's his name? The Jermichael, whatever, Carmichael, whatever his name is, the comedian. He was the comedic sidekick, black guy, and he was not funny. He had maybe a couple of lines, but he was not funny. And that's sad because I'm like, wow, he was brought in. He served no purpose in the film whatsoever. He was just as bad as the boyfriend of the daughter in Age of Extinction. Uh, well, extinction. If somebody's going to talk about my pronunciation. Then they have Anthony Hopkins in here who revives his role from Silence of the Lamb and he becomes Hannibal Lecter and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. And they even joke about how he's talking so much. Like, you talk so much. I guess you're right. I mean, like, yeah, you talking, and then like, what is your purpose? Like, you got all this information and you know all this. This could have been done a long time ago. Then a very colluded story about how this girl and Mark Wahlberg are united, and this talisman he finds is linked to only him because he's a warrior and it's he's chosen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is Michael Bay doing? You know, Michael Bay's about explosions, and there are a lot of explosions in here. So, but it's not so drawn out like the old ones. But now there's planets crashing into another planet, and Prime has been turned evil by his creator. That's on Cybertron, and she's convinced him to kill Earth, and there you have your movie. And it is a mess, just as messy as I just explained it to you, and you're probably confused. None of this makes sense. And when you see this, you're gonna be like, "This is so dumb." And I got to get a staff to beat her, and only this one girl can hold the staff, and she's got the power to defeat this woman, and it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, it's completely out of bounds. And they say this is the last one, and hopefully it is. I doubt it because there's a bit of a cliffhanger at the end that signifies that there may be another one. And I'm like, oh, come on, Michael Bay. I guess Fast and the Furious said, look, we going strong. Transformers like, well, they keep going and we gonna keep going. Shoot, bro, I'm gonna keep making $1 billion of my movie. Why I'm gonna stop? And I can't blame them for that, can I? But overall, this movie gets 2 stars out of 4. I give it 2 stars because it is action packed. You will not be not entertained because there's no action on the screen. There is a lot of action on this screen. It's weird action and unnecessary action, but it's something to keep you entertained while you still sitting in that seat wondering why you're there. You're gonna be an hour and a half wondering what in the world am I watching? Like, what's going on? I'm just like the characters. What is happening here? We're an hour and a half in the movie, and I don't know diddly squat. Then you wonder what happened to certain Transformers. Then they just write people out of the script, and some people was just there for show, I guess. Like, oh, they're just here for show. Let them go. You know, they would have been helpful in the battle, but you know, I guess it costs too much. Let's just leave them out of it. It's hard to take these movies like seriously. So yeah, 2 stars. It's watchable. It's much better than Age of Extinction. Age of Extinction is probably the worst one out of the whole series. That and The Dark Side of the Moon. Those two are the worst Transformer movies. Period. And trying to see which one is worse, nothing's gonna be Age of Extinction. That is just a hunk of crap. And then they tried to continue this script right after that. Man, well, it's a lot of action. So, and the profanity, my goodness, everybody's cursing. I mean, for real, I've never seen a movie curse this much. This movie cursed all the time. The S word was dropped every 10 seconds by kids, by adults, by robots. What's with that? I don't even understand. It wasn't even necessary. Cursing is just funny now. Okay, I get it. Well, anyway, I'm out.